Well, I'm really proud of our team because, and it kind of ties into this game. You know, we were 5-11. We won 12 out of our last 15 ball games, put ourselves in a position, and that's remarkable because they could have all folded their tent and left. But as you saw tonight, we're 16 points down, and we don't believe in folding our tent and going to the house. And that's very indicative of who they are, their character, and I appreciate that very much because that says a lot for our athletic department under the direction Mr. Burke, and that's important for us to know from a standpoint of individuals. You know, lost to a very, very good basketball team. You know, I mean, they've done a fabulous job. They've had a wonderful year, but I'm very proud of my guys in victory or defeat because they brought it, they competed, and against all odds, the way that Heyman and Walker were draining threes, and Clayton in the first half making all those threes is just remarkable. So just a great effort, a great job, and you know, at least we made everybody stay around for a while to think the game wasn't over, didn't we?
Chris Bailey, KOB TV. This is for Bryson and Daquan. You know, tough game. Like Coach said, you know, you guys kind of fought back. You know, really made it a great game. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way. Kind of talk about the emotion of playing in a game like this for your guys' final game.
I guess I'll take it. It's very emotional. You know, your last game, you always want to go out with a W, but you know, the time comes where your streak ends, and I guess it happened to end tonight. I mean, we did what we could. It was a couple plays here and there that we should have made better thoughts on, but we didn't. So.
Personally, I've been playing basketball since the age of 3, and it's like you wake up every morning knowing you play the game of basketball, and now that it starts to come to an end, it gets kind of emotional. And I wouldn't pick any other group of guys that I'd rather go out with, win, lose, or draw. These guys are my brothers, and I just appreciate the time and affection that they showed me over these past 2 years.
You're down 16, you know, kind of the second half, trying to fight back. Jalen, you know, you had a monster game, 36 points. Kind of talk about your performance, trying to get this team back in it, you know, trying to make a run here late.
I think my teammates did a great job of finding me in open spots, and I was just making shots. And I think SFA did a good job of guarding me and drawing up different plays and kind of confusing me. But I think we overcame it, and we tried to fight back, and we just couldn't get over the hump down the stretch.
For Jalen and Coach, you know, you guys have had a lot of, you know, contributions from Daquan and Bryson here. Going forward, though, what are you guys kind of looking at for the future now?
I think we have a great freshman group that will come on next year and the years to come, such as Zaketha and Willie and Trayvon Joseph, Sabri Thompson, and we still have Marvin coming back and a couple of those guys, so I think we'll be pretty good.
You know, the future's bright. You know, I told the seniors in there, Patrick and Gary, and then, of course, Bryson and Q came along, but they have kind of brought our program back because we kind of hit that rough spot, which is a normal thing at our level to hit some rough spots. You can't stay up all the time. And they ignited us with a group of seniors a year ago. Then they brought us back to right here where we're at, trying to get this thing going again. Knocking on the door. We knocked on the door. We just didn't kick it down when we needed to. But, you know, I think the future's bright. You know, we've got to go to work and go get the right pieces and understand that we've got to improve and get better in a lot of areas, and one of them would be defense. But you know, I'm really excited about the future, and I'm excited because the character involved. You know, that's a big thing. Doesn't mean they're always going to agree with me on everything. They don't like me every day, but they're going to love me, and I'm going to love them back. And that's so important to develop in a program because, you know, we all don't agree with each other all the time, do we, Q?
Not at all.
Brandon Williams, Southland.org. Last night, Coach, you talked about the fact, you know, facing the fear. You mentioned something along those lines. You know, talk about the fear, you know, the lack of it that you guys showed when you were down 16.
Well, if I can find the thing on my phone, I'll tell you what I read them. But, you know, I'm not very phone savvy here. Okay, it says, too many of us are not living our dreams because we're living our fears. That was the last thing I said to him. We've got to understand that we got to face our fears, and if getting beat's your fear, you got to stare it straight in the face and try to knock it down. And that's the thing, and that's with life. That's with our relationship with our Heavenly Father. That's relationship with everything we have. We have to face our fears and live our dreams, and we don't do that so many times because there's so much out there that we could grasp and take a part of, but we don't do that. And I appreciate them listening to me. Because, we're giving them a lot. So we didn't face any fear tonight. We were looking for dreams to take that next step forward. So it was kind of timely, and I can't believe that I got that up on my phone immediately.
Brandon Scott from the Huntsville Item. This is for Jalen and Daquan, or either of you. Jalen, you had a play in the second half where you stole the ball on an inbounds play and called a timeout before you got out of bounds, which seemed like a huge play for you guys. But then when you guys tried to inbound it to Daquan, the ball was stolen. How big of a play was that? How pivotal was that of a moment in the game when it seemed like y'all had a chance to really come back?
I think there was a momentum change. When I stole it and called a timeout, I think we had the momentum. But when they stole it back, I think the momentum shifted back to their side, and I think it carried them to get the win.
It was a really big play for Wes on the defensive end to help us get to, try to come back. But when he threw the ball, I misstepped and stepped out of bounds. So, I made a mistake, but it's nobody's fault. It just happens with the game as it goes along.
This is for all three players. You think coming into this game, even though they were, you guys were the underdogs and they were, 18-0 in conference, that they still had a little bit more to prove than you guys, with you guys being the defending Southland champs, or vice versa?
I wouldn't consider us the underdog, but if you look at the record, it probably would. But I think both teams is equally matched. I think they're a better defensive team than we're a better offensive team. But I think they did a better job at outscoring us today, and that's how they got the win.
Any other questions?
Okay, guys, what makes SFA so good? And I've got another side of this question. What makes SFA so good?
They run their plays well all the way through. They use the clock well. Time management in the games is big for them.
I think they do a good job of limiting teams to one shot because they box out pretty good. Even though they're undersized, they get most of the rebounds and they'll give you second chance points.
I think they're pretty disciplined, like on the defensive end and offensive end, like the small things. They're real fundamental, and they get the job done.
What made y'all so good?
Heart.
I think we showed a lot of toughness when we got down, and we just stayed together. And we ended up trying to grind it out, but we couldn't get the job done down the stretch.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you. That's a question.